The ancient teachings of Stoicism have guided many through life's turbulent waters. Today, we'll explore this philosophy through the lens of Marcus Aurelius and real-life stories, emphasizing how to cultivate a strong character. 1. The nature of life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Meet Sarah. When she lost her job unexpectedly, instead of succumbing to despair, she asked herself what she could control. She began refining her skills and networking. 2 months later, she found a better position. The critical psychological principle is the locus of control. The concept of locus of control originates from social psychology and is concerned with how individuals believe they can control the events affecting them. There are 2 primary types. Internal locus of control. People with an internal locus of control believe they are in charge of their destinies. They attribute outcomes to their behaviors and actions. Such individuals tend to be more proactive and feel they can influence their circumstances, leading them to act like Sarah did in the story. External locus of control. Conversely, those with an external locus of control believe that external forces, like fate, luck, or other people, determine the outcomes in their lives. They might feel helpless or believe that they have little to no influence over what happens to them. Research has shown that individuals with a more internal locus of control often have better mental health, higher motivation to achieve, and a more optimistic perspective on life. They tend to be more resilient in the face of adversity since they believe they have the agency to navigate challenges. However, it's essential to recognize that an extreme internal locus of control can also lead to excessive self-blame during adverse events, even when they are out of one's control. It's all about finding a balanced perspective that recognizes what's within their power and what isn't. An actionable tip is when experiencing hardships, focus on what you can change and adapt. In challenging situations, pause and reflect on what is within your control instead of feeling overwhelmed or defeated by external circumstances. This might be your perspective, reaction, or even small actions you can take. By focusing on these controllable elements, you can build resilience, adapt to challenges, and find avenues to improve or change your situation. 2. The temporality of life. Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. Marcus Aurelius. John, a retiree, often shares tales of his youth. While he cherishes those memories, he lives joyfully in the present, teaching his grandchildren the beauty of now. A critical psychological principle applied to this lesson is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. Initially rooted in Buddhist meditation practices, it has become a mainstream psychological concept and therapeutic approach in the West. Here are the key components of mindfulness. Present moment awareness. This refers to bringing one's attention to the present rather than ruminating on the past or worrying about the future. Like John in the story, it's about recognizing and valuing the now. Non-judgmental observation. Mindfulness involves observing experiences without labeling them as good or bad. It's about accepting things as they are without trying to change or resist them. Acceptance. This is closely related to the non-judgmental aspect. It's about embracing whatever comes our way, be it pleasant or unpleasant, without any attempt to push it away or cling to it. Attention regulation. With regular mindfulness practices, like meditation, one can train the brain to maintain focus and attention, reducing instances of mind wandering. Studies have shown that mindfulness can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress. It can also improve attention, memory, and cognitive flexibility. Moreover, people who practice mindfulness report higher life satisfaction and well-being levels. By being mindful, individuals are better equipped to appreciate the fleeting nature of life, valuing each moment, recognizing its impermanence, and living more fully in it. This aligns well with the Stoic principle of understanding and accepting the temporality of life. An actionable tip is to practice being present. The current moment is the only guarantee. To put this into practice, take moments throughout your day to pause and ground yourself in the present. This can be as simple as taking a deep breath, noticing the sensations around you, or, indeed, listening when someone is speaking. Over time, these small moments of mindfulness can help you cultivate a deeper appreciation for life's present and transient nature. 3. Inner strength. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. After a breakup, Alex constantly told himself he was unlovable. When he decided to challenge these thoughts, he started seeing his worth and began a self-love journey. A critical psychological principle applied is cognitive restructuring. Cognitive restructuring is a core component of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a widely researched and practiced form of psychotherapy. The principle behind cognitive restructuring is that our thoughts, cognitions, about events or situations, significantly influence our emotions and behaviors. Here's a breakdown of the process. Identification. The first step in cognitive restructuring is recognizing maladaptive or irrational thoughts. In the story, Alex's belief that he is unlovable exemplifies such a thought. Challenge. Once these negative thoughts are identified, the next step is to challenge them. This involves evaluating the evidence for and against the thought and considering alternative interpretations. For instance, Alex might question whether one breakup determines his worth or livability. Replace. After challenging the irrational thought, one seeks to replace it with a more balanced or positive thought. For Alex, this could be like, one relationship ending doesn't define my worth. I have many qualities that make me lovable. Beneficial outcomes. By consistently practicing cognitive restructuring, individuals can shift their thinking patterns from negative and self-defeating to more positive and constructive. This can lead to improved emotional well-being and behavioral outcomes. The underlying premise of cognitive restructuring aligns with Marcus Aurelius's quote, "Our perception of life is shaped heavily by our thoughts." If we can change our thoughts, we can change our emotional reactions and, consequently, our lives. An actionable tip is to challenge negative thoughts. Foster a growth mindset. To incorporate this into your daily life. Awareness. Start by becoming more aware of your thought patterns, especially those that seem automatic or negative. Journaling can be a helpful tool in this process. Questioning. Whenever you catch a negative thought, question it. Ask yourself, is this thought true? What evidence do I have for and against it? Are there other ways to interpret the situation? Adopt a growth mindset, popularized by Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that dedication and hard work can develop abilities and intelligence. By adopting this mindset, challenges and failures are seen as opportunities to grow rather than definitive judgments about one's abilities or worth. By actively challenging and restructuring your thoughts and cultivating a growth mindset, you can develop a more robust, more resilient mental framework, ultimately leading to greater inner strength. 4. Purpose and duty. Concentrate every minute on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. Marcus Aurelius. Nina, a teacher, believes her purpose is to guide her students. Even on tough days, she commits wholeheartedly, knowing her dedication shapes futures. A critical psychological principle is the need for purpose. Having a sense of purpose or meaning in life is a fundamental psychological need that has profound implications for mental health, well-being, and overall life satisfaction. It serves as a compass, guiding actions, influencing behaviors, and providing a reason to confront and overcome challenges. Let's delve deeper. Direction and motivation. A sense of purpose provides individuals with a clear direction in life, helping prioritize actions and decisions based on what aligns with that purpose. For Nina, her guiding purpose is to educate and shape her students' futures, which drives her dedication even on difficult days. Resilience. Individuals with a strong sense of purpose tend to have higher resilience levels. They can better cope with adversities and recover more quickly from setbacks because they view challenges as temporary hurdles on a longer journey toward fulfilling their purpose. Physical and psychological health. Research has shown that having a purpose in life is linked to numerous health benefits. This includes reduced risk of mortality, better cardiovascular health, and lower levels of depressive symptoms. Psychologically, purpose is correlated with greater life satisfaction and overall happiness. Social connectedness. A purpose often extends beyond individual needs and broader social or community objectives. For instance, Nina's role as a teacher inherently connects her to a broader community, her students, their families, and the educational institution. This fosters a sense of belonging and interconnectedness. Purpose does not necessarily need to be grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as being a good parent, contributing positively to a community, or excelling in a personal hobby. What's crucial is the intrinsic motivation and significance it provides to the individual. An actionable tip is to reflect on your roles. Approach them with dedication. To integrate this into your life. Self-reflection. Take time regularly to introspect about what truly matters to you. What are your passions, values, and priorities? What roles in your life bring the most meaning? Align actions with purpose. Once you've identified your purpose or roles that bring meaning, strive to align your daily actions and decisions with that purpose. This might mean decluttering tasks or commitments that don't serve this purpose. Commit wholeheartedly. Just like Nina, once you have clarity on your purpose, approach each day and task with dedication, even when challenging. This commitment enhances your performance and deepens the sense of fulfillment you derive from your actions. By honing in on your purpose and approaching your roles with dedication, you can infuse daily life with deeper meaning, enhancing mental well-being and satisfaction. 5. Embracing challenges. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. When Jake's family business faced bankruptcy, he viewed it as an opportunity to innovate. Now, they have a more sustainable and profitable model. A critical psychological principle is reframing. To implement this in your life. Awareness. Begin by recognizing your immediate thoughts and emotional reactions to challenges. Are they negative or self-defeating? Questioning. Ask yourself, is there another way to look at this situation? What can I learn from this? How can this challenge pave the way for growth or innovation? Practice actively. Initially, reframing may not come naturally, primarily if you're used to a particular thinking pattern. With consistent practice, however, it becomes more intuitive. Seek external perspectives. Sometimes it's beneficial to discuss challenges with trusted friends, mentors, or therapists. They might offer a different perspective that you hadn't considered. By actively practicing reframing, you'll find that challenges become less about setbacks and more about growth opportunities, aligning well with the Stoic principle of using obstacles as a path forward. Reframing is a cognitive behavioral technique that involves changing how you perceive an event, thereby altering the emotional response. Instead of seeing a situation from a negative or self-defeating perspective, reframing encourages viewing it in a more positive or adaptive light. Key elements of reframing include: change in perspective. This is the act of viewing the same situation from a different lens or angle. For instance, Jake could have seen the potential bankruptcy as a devastating failure. Instead, he chose to see it as an opportunity to innovate. Breaking cognitive biases. Our minds often get trapped in negative thinking patterns due to biases. Reframing helps break these biases by challenging our default interpretations and looking for alternative explanations. Emotional regulation. By altering the perception of a situation, reframing can help modulate emotional reactions. Viewing a challenge as an opportunity rather than a setback can lead to feelings of motivation and hope rather than despair. Facilitates adaptive behaviors. A positive or adaptive interpretation of a situation promotes more constructive behaviors. In the story, Jake's reframed perspective led him to innovate, ultimately leading to a more sustainable business model. Research has shown that individuals consistently using reframing as a coping strategy report better psychological well-being, lower stress levels, and more positive emotional states. The technique is foundational in therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, because of its powerful impact on mental health. An actionable tip is to treat challenges as learning opportunities. To implement this in your life. Awareness. Begin by recognizing your immediate thoughts and emotional reactions to challenges. Are they negative or self-defeating? Questioning. Ask yourself, is there another way to look at this situation? What can I learn from this? How can this challenge pave the way for growth or innovation? Practice actively. Initially, reframing may not come naturally, primarily if you're used to a particular thinking pattern. With consistent practice, however, it becomes more intuitive. Seek external perspectives. Sometimes it's beneficial to discuss challenges with trusted friends, mentors, or therapists. They might offer a different perspective that you hadn't considered. By actively practicing reframing, you'll find that challenges become less about setbacks and more about growth opportunities, aligning well with the Stoic principle of using obstacles as a path forward. Reframing is a cognitive behavioral technique that involves changing how you perceive an event, thereby altering the emotional response. Instead of seeing a situation from a negative or self-defeating perspective, reframing encourages viewing it in a more positive or adaptive light. Key elements of reframing include: change in perspective. This is the act of viewing the same situation from a different lens or angle. For instance, Jake could have seen the potential bankruptcy as a devastating failure. Instead, he chose to see it as an opportunity to innovate. Breaking cognitive biases. Our minds often get trapped in negative thinking patterns due to biases. Reframing helps break these biases by challenging our default interpretations and looking for alternative explanations. Emotional regulation. By altering the perception of a situation, reframing can help modulate emotional reactions. Viewing a challenge as an opportunity rather than a setback can lead to feelings of motivation and hope rather than despair. Facilitates adaptive behaviors. A positive or adaptive interpretation of a situation promotes more constructive behaviors. In the story, Jake's reframed perspective led him to innovate, ultimately leading to a more sustainable business model. Research has shown that individuals consistently using reframing as a coping strategy report better psychological well-being, lower stress levels, and more positive emotional states. The technique is foundational in therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, because of its powerful impact on mental health. 6. Empathy and understanding. Whenever someone harms you, understand that they do so out of ignorance. Marcus Aurelius. Ella had a colleague who was constantly rude. Instead of retaliating, she tried to understand his world. She learned about his struggles and they became allies. A critical psychological principle is the theory of mind. Theory of mind refers to attributing mental states, beliefs, intents, desires, emotions, knowledge, etc. to oneself and others. It's essentially the understanding that others have beliefs, thoughts, and perspectives that can differ from one's own. Theory of mind is crucial in predicting and explaining other people's behaviors based on these attributions. Here's how it relates to the Stoic principle. Understanding others, theory of mind enables individuals like Ella to recognize that another person's behavior may stem from their beliefs or circumstances, which might not be immediately apparent. By acknowledging that everyone operates based on their understanding of the world, we can empathize with their actions, even if we don't condone them. Developing empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is closely linked to Tom. When Ella sought to understand her colleague's world, she exercised her theory of mind capabilities, leading to genuine empathy. Facilitating social connections, a well-developed Tom allows for smoother social interactions. In the story, instead of escalating conflict with her colleague, Ella's understanding led to creating an ally, transforming a negative situation into a positive relationship. Promoting prosocial behavior, with a strong sense of Tom, individuals are likelier to engage in prosocial behaviors, actions intended to benefit others. Understanding others' perspectives often leads to feelings of compassion and a desire to assist or cooperate. Mitigating reactivity, recognizing that a person's adverse actions might be based on their struggles or misunderstandings can reduce the immediate reactive desire to retaliate or respond in kind. An actionable tip is to seek to understand before passing judgment. To incorporate this into your life. Active listening, when interacting with others, especially in conflict, take the time to listen genuinely. Often, understanding begins by simply hearing someone out without immediately formulating a response. Avoid assumptions. Instead of making assumptions about why someone behaves a certain way, ask open-ended questions to understand their perspective better. Practice empathy. Regularly remind yourself that everyone has battles, beliefs, and backgrounds that shape their actions. By empathizing, you acknowledge their humanity and experiences. Mindfulness and meditation. Some mindfulness exercises and meditations are specifically designed to enhance empathy and theory of mind. Incorporating these into your routine can be beneficial. By prioritizing understanding and empathy, you navigate social landscapes more effectively and cultivate more profound, meaningful connections with those around you. 7. Accepting fate. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny. Marcus Aurelius. Sam was an athlete whose injury halted his career. Accepting his new path, he became a successful sports commentator, embracing his new destiny. A psychological principle is acceptance and commitment therapy. Acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, is a contemporary form of cognitive behavioral therapy that emphasizes using strategies like mindfulness and behavioral activation to increase psychological flexibility. The main goal of acceptance and commitment therapy is not to eliminate complicated feelings or to return to a former better self, but rather to be present with what life brings us, and to move toward valued behavior. Here's how acceptance and commitment therapy aligns with the Stoic principle. Cognitive diffusion. One of the core processes of acceptance and commitment therapy is to diffuse your thoughts. This means learning to see thoughts as just rather than getting entangled in them or giving them undue importance. In the story's context, Sam might have had thoughts like "my career is over" or "I'm useless now," but instead of getting stuck in those thoughts, he would learn to see them as transient mental events rather than truths. Acceptance. Instead of avoiding or resisting unpleasant emotions or situations, acceptance and commitment therapy teaches acceptance. This doesn't mean passive resignation but rather fully opening up to experiences and acknowledging them without judgment. Sam accepted the reality of his injury, and its implications on his athletic career. Being present. Acceptance and commitment therapy emphasizes the importance of being open, flexible, and effective in the present moment. This is aligned with Stoicism's focus on accepting and working with the current reality rather than lamenting over the past or anxiously anticipating the future. Values clarification. Identifying personal values is critical to acceptance and commitment therapy. One can take actions aligned with those values by understanding what truly matters. Sam might have identified his passion for sports and the desire to stay connected, leading to his new career in sports commentary. Committed action. With a clear understanding of personal values, acceptance and commitment therapy encourages actions that align with those values, even in the face of challenges. For Sam, this involved actively pursuing a career in sports commentary despite the setback of his injury. An actionable tip is to accept your circumstances. Find ways to thrive within them. To integrate this into your life. Mindful awareness. Practice regular mindfulness exercises to stay connected with the present moment, and to observe thoughts and feelings non-judgmentally. Values assessment. Spend time reflecting on your core values. What truly matters to you? What kind of person do you want to be? Take small actions, even in the face of challenges or unwanted circumstances. Identify small steps you can take that align with your values. Seek support. If you find it challenging to navigate your feelings or circumstances, consider seeking guidance from therapists familiar with ACT or other supportive communities. Through the practice of acceptance and commitment therapy principles, one can learn to gracefully accept life's curveballs, find meaning within them, and pivot toward a path that's aligned with personal values and passions. Stoicism, through the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and tales of ordinary individuals, offers a roadmap to a life of virtue and inner peace. By embracing these teachings, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and strength. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius. If you like these videos, please like and comment. For more videos like these, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. Thank you for watching.